I'm Jennifer Rothschild. Welcome to this month's womensministry.net video devotional. I am so glad you've joined me, and you're going to be exceptionally glad also because we are joined by a very special friend of mine. She's an author, speaker, mentor, teacher, excellent friend. Her name is Alicia Britt Sholey, and we're going to talk today about mentoring. All right, so a woman who's watching us, who's feeling drawn to enter into a mentoring relationship, does just her simple feeling drawn, like if she's an older woman and she notes a couple of younger women in her church and she thinks, wow, I'd love to mentor them, is that enough, or does a mentee have to be the one that initiates? How does that work?
Oh, that's a really great question. I think, first of all, it's important for us to understand that mentoring is really a function of health. Healthy things reproduce themselves. So I do not believe that mentoring is a function of personality or a function of position or even a function of seasons. Healthy things reproduce themselves. And so as we are growing in Christ, it's very, very natural that we in turn invest in other people. Jesus invested in the 12. He said, I want you therefore to go and make disciples of all nations. And so I think that that longing to give is extremely reflective of Jesus's example. And so then as we study his pattern, we begin to model his steps.
So does that mean a mentor initiates?
I've seen it both ways. I've had young women initiate and asking me. I've initiated and asking others. I think that whoever winds up initiating, one of the key things is that you both understand what you're talking about.
And what are we talking about for the woman watching who says, I feel that heartbeat, but I don't know exactly what that's going to look like? What are we talking about?
Yes, the substance that we're talking about is purposeful proximity. It can take on so many different forms in so many different ways. But the substance is intentionality and presence. And when you have those two things at the core, there are all sorts of things you can wrap around that relationship as far as themes and topics and subjects.
Even like a curriculum or a Bible study, but that is not required is what you're saying.
No. What's required is that example that Jesus gives. My husband and I call it Withship.
Withship, W-I-T-H,
that's right.
S-H-I-P.
Because in Mark chapter 3, the very first job description he gave the disciples was to be with him.
Love it.
And then to be sent out to preach. So the doing was the outflow of the being and the proximity. So if we see Jesus' example, we know that he is still the master mentor, and we are shoulder to shoulder walking with another woman toward him. There's a couple of other pieces that help us. One is to know that being a mentor is not being an answer giver, it's being a question asker.
Okay, and that's far less intimidating. That's why a lot of women are intimidated by mentoring. They think, I don't know. So you're saying it's more important to ask the questions than to give the answers.
That's right.
Excellent. Okay, give me another one.
So we share life, we ask questions, and we don't hide our humanity.
Well, then that also would qualify me well because it's hard to hide. Our flaws are hard to hide, and why bother, right?
Exactly. It takes too much energy to be who you're not.
Yes.
And so when we are clearly just who we are, the light of Jesus can shine through us, and that's what they need to see. Plastic Christianity has done the world precious little good. But as we live clearly, others can see Jesus more accurately.
I love
there
it.
You have the heartbeat of mentoring.
So we be who we are, we walk toward Jesus, we cultivate a healthy relationship with him through Withship, with him and with others.
That's right.
You've given us so much. Thank you, Alicia.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm so glad you joined me and my friend Alicia Sholey. And by the way, if you want a little more of Alicia and her ministry and her style, one of my favorite books she's written is called Anonymous. It's about Jesus' hidden years and yours, and it has blessed me, and I know it will bless you. So check it out. But while you're watching this video, especially if you're watching it with your leadership team, why don't you guys just take a few minutes and talk about what Alicia called Withship and how that can impact your life and the life of those you minister with. Thanks for joining me today. Now come back to the community at womensministry.net because the community is always better when you show up.